back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals, those grand finales here of the OSC mid-season playoffs. It has been an intense and very long tournament as well. For those who don't know, this tournament started back in April. Like that's how big this tournament is. It's like a massive bracket, double elimination. Who did we feature for this tournament? We had players like Bunny, players like Björn, Shin, Solar as well, Luna C, Mana, Rebellion, Shameless, Skilless, Trigger, and many others were all taking part in this tournament. Out of all of them, all that I mentioned have fallen. They've all fallen. Some of the big favorites as well. Bunny is out, Björn is out, Solar is out, Shin also out of the tournament. And who remains? An unlikely duo. I mean, ShoWTimE was one of the favorites coming in, for sure. You know, he's one of the best Pro players in Europe. But of all players, Cham, El Chamaco, papi, Cham from Latino America, from Mexico, he comes out on top. And Cham, it wasn't an easy run. Cham, who did he beat? He beat Solar, he beat Cristiano, he beat Solar, he beat Mana, he beat Bunny to make it to the grand finals from the upper bracket. He had an insane run, an insane performance. But how does he fare against ShoWTimE? ShoWTimE is a very different kind of player, and there is some history between these two. If you remember, we actually casted these two face off in a best of 5 not that long ago. Last week they faced off. Do you remember what happened, by the way? If you weren't watching, well, what were you doing, papi? The preliminary stage of Maestros of the game. Actually, I think I can show it off here and now. I don't mind giving some context here. But yeah, this is going to be a rematch here as we quickly switch our teams over and catch up on the bracket and catch up on a different bracket, actually. So Maestros of the Game is a big event happening in France, and we covered the group stage. We covered Group A last night. Group B is tonight, of course. And last week we covered this stage, the preliminary stage. This is to determine who makes it into the main event, into the group stage, which again we have been covering. Oh, someone hasn't updated this. But regardless, we did have the preliminary stage, and as you can see, look at that first round, look at that first match. ShoWTimE and Cham, they played last week in a best of 5, and ShoWTimE did take down Cham 3-2, went all the way to the ace match. And I'll be honest, because we were covering the series, Cham almost 3-0'd. Like Cham, he was up 2-0. You can see Cham, he won on Talkback, he won on Persephone. Cham, he was on a tear, and then he fumbled the ball. He got a little bit too excited, he got a little bit too overconfident, went for some cheeses on Maganatha. ShoWTimE was able to recover. Cham was also a little bit one note. He was playing very roach heavy, very mid-game oriented, and over the course of the series, ShoWTimE kind of got accustomed to Cham and was able to bring it all the way back and pull off the reverse sweep. ShoWTimE, he did reverse sweep Cham, and ShoWTimE did end up beating him here 3-2, but it was still very close. Surprisingly, so, like again, like Cham's been looking crazy recently. He's been insane. So even here, taking ShoWTimE to the ace match was crazy. That was a week ago. Now they're facing off again, but this time in a best of 7. This time in a best of 7. I still do favor ShoWTimE, but like these results, the results of Cham this tournament and even this previous series from last week as well, show that Cham has it in him to take it to the best of them. It's really impressive to see Cham's recent growth and recent rate of improvement over the past couple of months. It has been very impressive, of course. He's still the underdog, but he achieved so much, making it to the finals. Like, really impressive play out of Cham to make it this far. We'll see if he can go further. We'll see if he can just take the entire thing. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. As we're jumping into a best of 9, and as a reminder as well, coming into this, Cham is already up 1-0. He's already up 1-0 because he comes in with a +1 advantage, because he comes in from the upper bracket. So he does have that advantage, and here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into ley lines. Okay, let's go. Let us go. As welcome on also the grand finals of the OSC 2025 mid-season playoffs number 1, and spawning in the right hand corner of ley lines, we have the German Protoss player. We have the German Protoss, we have the red Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player. We have the Mexican Zerg representing Xeritus Esports. It is Cham. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Again, coming into this, ShoWTimE is still the heavy favorite. I mean, hey, he took down some big names already. Took down Skillers, took down Shin, took down Bunny to make it here to the grand finals. ShoWTimE is looking very, very strong, very in form, of course. Likewise, Cham has shown us in recent times he can take maps and potentially even series off of ShoWTimE, but my big concern is something that I just mentioned, if you recall, when discussing what happened the last time they played, is that Cham was a little bit one-note. Like, he was able to catch ShoWTimE off guard with some Roach all-ins, with some Roach heavy play in the first 2 games, but over the course of the series, as I mentioned, ShoWTimE got used to him. He got used to him, he recognized his play. ShoWTimE started being more defensive, much more defensive, turtling up, and kind of weathering that storm and absorbing the blows of Cham over the course of the series, and eventually shut him down. At some points, even applying more pressure and punishing Cham early on as well. So, coming into this rematch, a week later, coming into a best of 7, I would hope that Cham comes in with a different approach, and we'll see if he can, we'll see if he does. Oh boy. As for now, Hatch gas pull, standard opener to Cham, Cham going for the unnatural natural. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE across the map going for a standard opener as well. Everything looking as it should. And if you're in the chat, predictions are about to close, so make sure you get your gamba going while you can. Oh, the gamba. Hi. So now we are being active. Link speed is on the way. Cham pulls out of gas, so everything's looking normal for the time being. What are we looking for here? So we're going to be looking for the early tech of choice, looking for either an early Eva chamber, early Roach Warren, Lair first instead. That's kind of what we're checking out here from Cham to see what direction he takes us in. What direction does he take us in for now? Hatchery has been thrown down. Likewise, ShoWTimE, we're expecting Stargate opener into a 3rd base. Against Shin, we saw that ShoWTimE had some very diverse play. It was only twice where he went early blink, and I want to say only once where he went for a standard game, or maybe twice as well, where he went for a standard kind of game where he went into more of a later blink +1 timing. So ShoWTimE, he was also mixing it up. Was also mixing it up against Shin. Even going for early charge a couple of times as well. And yeah, sorry, this is just coming back to me that he only played standard once. Only the one time. In that best of 5. I mean, I say standard, like, the other games, I'm saying he was hyperly aggressive or anything, but just, you know, a little bit more out of the norm. And Upstate Shading's the main way so far. 3, 4, 5. This is too much. 5, this is too much. 6 drone kills already. Can we get 7? Thankfully not, but 6 drones for Tordeps. A very rough start here for Cham. Cham, he had Lings, he had Queens, he chose not to pull the boys away, and he gets punished for not pulling away his workers. And with that, ShoWTimE kicks things off with a lead. So a strong lead already. The pressure is on Cham. This isn't game-ending damage, but it is brutal. It's a brutal start. Bearing in mind that economic damage early on means more because you have less workers. Early on, in the early game, you have less workers to work with, so every worker kill, it's brutal. Things they dip in. Could be forced back. ShoWTimE going for his counterattack, getting a 3rd Oracle behind this. Opening up triple Oracle. ShoWTimE makes his way into the main. So let's go for a bit of a drive-by. Oh, takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. That's another 2 drones. That's 8 drone kills in total. And here comes a follow-up. Here come the Vanilla Adepts. And again, this isn't meant to end the game, but he can if Cham is droning, then he can't catch him off guard. ShoWTimE is just not relenting. Shading further in. Shading further into the bases. Kim misses the shade. Does Eva block? Yeah, it does block in time. So far losing just 1 drone. Spoke too soon, losing up to 2, but this was a better trade for Cham. That was 4 Adepts. 4 Adepts, only 2 drones. Nice defense here by Cham. We're tightening up. Behind this, it was an earlier Roach Horn. So earlier Roach Horn into a Lair and Evo Chamber. If you recall, something that I mentioned about the previous series is we saw a lot of Roach heavy play. We saw a lot of Roach play at the Cham. We're seeing that again. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE, +1 in Glaives? What? Okay. ShoWTimE, we haven't... Okay, I was about to say that this doesn't really make much sense because +1 doesn't really benefit Glaive Adepts. It was a bit of a mistake. So ShoWTimE, we got to calm down. Does have a misclick, cancels Glaive, starts up Blink. Will delay Blink a little bit, true. But this is a standard follow-up here, so it's not like he wants to hit a strong Blink timing anyway. So not the biggest of deals here, as ShoWTimE is taking up quickly here into a Temple Archives, into Storm. Okay. And ShoWTimE moves out. He gets another wave of drone kills. That's going to be another 6 drones. One Oracle will finally not go down. ShoWTimE gets away, preserves all the Oracles. 7 more drone kills. I'm afraid to look. In total, it's been 19 worker kills. 19 drones. And this is getting out of hand. Behind this, Cham is going into Roach Hydra. Hydra Den is done. Getting to +1 range. Roach Hydra is amassing. And all that ShoWTimE has to do is just defend. He's dealt so much economic damage. Just defend, turtle up as best you can. Cannon, shield battery, storm, immortal production, robos on the way. ShoWTimE just has to survive. Survive the aggression. Stalkers do poke in. Picking up a couple of roaches. Yeah, Hydra's going down as well. Cham, he's not quite ready for this. He's trickling in with his army. Yeah, Ling's getting caught by the stasis. One Stalker goes down. And ShoWTimE trades well. He trades well here, but he has to make sure he doesn't overstay his welcome, as the Hydra count is building up. And there are no reinforcements. So ShoWTimE is playing with fire. He has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. Does pull out. Does pull away. Another stasis goes off on the Lings. Some more reinforcements have arrived. Now we can just keep pushing. And this might just be too much. This might be too much here. These Hydras, they're exposed. They're going down. Expensive losses here for Cham. Does keep moving out though. Does maintain himself. Storm is done. High Templar, they're gathering energy. Another base is on the way. And Cham, I don't really think he plans on taking up, I'll be honest. He does have 4 bases. He's on 76 drones. But I don't see a pit. I don't see an infestation pit. I don't see a lurker den. I don't see +2. As finally one Oracle goes down. But yeah, Chammy's committing. Yeah, Chammy's doubling down. He's going for an all-in. He's going for a Lair Tech all-in, setting it with Mass Drop Lord as well. This is similar to what we saw at a Shin, but I don't think Shin ever went for Roach Hydra all-in. He'd either go for Roach Queen or Link Bane Hydra. Regardless, very similar. So Cham, he has his own flair to it. As Cham, he's maxed out, and again, it's all or nothing. Either he kills ShoWTimE or he dies trying. ShoWTimE, you can see he has a wall of cannons, shield batteries. He's very heavily fortified here at the 4th base. He has some light fortification at the 3rd, and he has some cannons on the way at the natural. This would be the place to push. Again, in between the 3rd and natural base is where ShoWTimE is at his weakest. Drop into the natural. Cham is rotating to the 4th. Uh-oh. This is where ShoWTimE wants to fight. He's got 3 cannons and 3 shield batteries, and stasis traps as well. Cham jumping in. We'll take some storms to the face. And Cham, he does unload. Storms are coming in. Yeah, storms, brutal storms on the main army. Sands in the storms. I mean, there's no way else to kite. Cham, he's gaining some ground. Takes down some of the cannons. A couple of cannons are falling. The drop in the natural is being cleaned up. And here come the storms. Yeah, the High Templar, they were lagging a little bit behind, but ShoWTimE does hold. He holds, he defends. We have a Stargate on the way, Fleet Beacon as well. ShoWTimE gearing up into Sky Toss. So Cham behind this, he did drone a little bit, getting into lurkers. So Hive is going to be on the way, lurker tech is on the way. Cham, he is taking out of this and transitioning into a higher tech army, but he was so committed here, and he's still moving out. Oh, short loads are getting caught. Oh, doesn't swing away. Rushes back to his natural. Station traps are popping up. So far, ShoWTimE is holding. He's holding, he's defending. Lurker's buttering in. Oh! And we can see Cham trying to force his way into the natural. I mean, this is a decently strong lurker timing. No lurker upgrades, though. No upgrades. Trying to force his way in. ShoWTimE just avoiding the way. Yeah, he just avoids the lurkers. He just goes to the counterattack instead. Back at home, there is nothing to defend. Yeah, there's nothing here. And we're going for the base trade. We're going for the base trade. Cham, he will break the natural. Again, this lurker timing working quite well for him. The lair tech lurkers. Who needs upgrades? Ooh, brutal storms though. Yeah, brutal storms. ShoWTimE, does he recall? What's the plan? He does. Ooh, he recalls on top of the lurkers. He's going for it. He goes to the surround. Zealots come in. Massive storm of the lurkers. And ShoWTimE will just swallow up the entire army. Oh my god, the surround was brutal. And Cham plummets in supply. He still has an army remaining. He still has some Lings, some Hydras. He has one lurker morphing in, but that was it. That was all that Cham really had. I mean, supplies are still close. They're still quite close. Still neck and neck. Better economy for ShoWTimE. Cham ideally wants to be up a base and up in workers. That's not the case. So ShoWTimE is ahead. And ShoWTimE is building up his Sky Toss. Tempest are on the way. Tempest are amassing. Cham, he does target down the base. And he will get it. Not bad. Nexus goes down. Another army on the right hand side. If you notice, Cham, he always has two groups. He's always had like two forces here out on the map, always applying pressure at both locations. Almost always. ShoWTimE, he defends his natural. But again, Cham is still found damage. But he can't sustain himself. Again, he's long distance mining. He needs the base. He needs expansions. That's really what's killing Cham here, is a lack of economy. Just lack of economy. Lack of saturation. Sure, we have a Spire. It's finishing up, but Cham, how many Corruptors can he really afford? Spire is good. Corruptors are ideal. But Cham needs money. For now, getting to Vipers. We have Groove Spines on the way. Getting to lurker range. And ShoWTimE is going to be the first to max. Going to be the first to max out, the first to push. It's going to be quite a move out as well. Okay, what do we have? 4 lurkers. We got 4 lurkers. We're going to have 1 Corruptor. We have 2 Vipers on the way. Sorry, they're just now popping out. But Cham, he cannot mine at this expansion. Yeah, no shot. This base is so abusable from the low ground. So 0 mining here out of Cham. Storm on the Hydras. Zealots peel towards the left-hand side. And this base is one of the big reasons why late game against Protoss can be so difficult. This is applicable to both Zerg and and for Terran as well. Like maintaining this base, the southern center bases as well, against the Sky Toss army is so difficult. And ShoWTimE, you just rotate. You can just rotate back and forth, knock down more bases. Remember, ShoWTimE is maxed. Oh, we do get a Hydra drop. Coming into the natural. Let's go. Hydra say drop in. It's a kill, not a cancel. It's a kill in the hatchery. Cham dropping into the main. ShoWTimE reacts. Unfortunately, ShoWTimE is max, so he can't really warp in too much. But he's got Tempest. Yeah, he's got reinforcements. Prison's being chased down. ShoWTimE once again, all he has to do is just deny the base. Just deny the hatchery. Cham is slowly maxing out. He's getting there. For the Tempest, they have free reign. Where are the Corruptors? They're coming in. And Corruptors out of position. We're busy with the War Prism. From here, he is moving in. Oh! Storm's run away. Oh god. ShoWTimE, calm down. Calm down, Pat. Moving into the Lunkers. Again, that's how many? That's 10 Lurkers. At the same time, though, there's not much of him to defend. 11 drones going down. The base is going down as well. I mean, Cham, impressive that he was able to stabilize somewhat and build up an army. But it's still an uphill battle. Nice abduction. Does get two Vipers. Tempest. Does get a handful of Tempest. 5 in total going down. Cham, he's holding on. He's holding. Speaking of two groups being active, ShoWTimE moving in, catching out some of the Hydras. Nice trades here out of ShoWTimE, trading out Zealots for Hydras, minerals for gas. So we have attempted Lurker Harass, Nidus as well. Chammy's forcing ShoWTimE all the way back home, but GG gets called. The writing has been on the wall for a while, and ShoWTimE does take game number 1, tying things up 1-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. We are tied up, and with that, we're getting into a series. We have it back and forth. What I will say, though, is again, I was really impressed by Cham's ability to survive and to tech out of the all-in as well. That's something that Shin couldn't do, or was never really set up for, is whenever he went for his own 3 to 4 base all-in, his lair tech all-in with Mass Ling Hydra, once it failed, it would fail in such a way that he just didn't really have any kind of follow-up. Meanwhile, Cham, he was able to tech up. He was able to tech out of it, tech into Hive, tech into Lurkers. He had a strong Lurker timing thereafter as well. He got swallowed up and it did fall on its face, but again, Cham, he was able to hold his own for a time. GG. GG, well played. With that, ShoWTimE does tie the series up, and with that, we're getting into game number 3. Gonna be loading into Magnatha. Let's go. We are loading in. Meanwhile, Hyper1 in the chat. Ay, ay, ay. We do have some, we have some, not just replays, but some round of 28 replays. Okay, let's go. Unfortunately, don't have any time to cover it this weekend, especially because of Masters of the Game, but we should have a viewer replay cast soon, TM. Quickly double checking here. I believe next week we have some free slots. Yeah, we should have some free slots available for some viewer replay coverage. So we got you. Next week. As here we go, as we're getting into our next game, as we're getting to game number 3 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Magnatha, we have the German Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Sentinels. Tying up the series, it is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Mexican Zerg player, we have the blue Zerg representing Xeritus Esports. It is a Cham. We go. So we are setting up. And welcome on also Magnatha. Magnatha being one of the larger maps in the map pool. The style that we saw last game at a Cham going Roach Hydra, a very heavy commitment into Roach Hydra with drop play, followed by Lurkers, is what we saw a lot of in their initial series last week. And it did actually catch ShoWTimE off guard a couple of times. Did have a back and forth here. We'll see if Cham can pull it off again, or if he has something different up his sleeve. As we load into a larger map, this is where something like Spire play is still once again applicable, is still viable to get into. Bienvenidos, Houdini. Bienvenidos. So from here we are settling in. Hatch gas will open at a Cham. We're expecting Stargate play at a ShoWTimE. Now, when it comes to ShoWTimE being more defensive here on Magnatha, it can be a little bit harder. We spoke about this previously, but Magnatha, the bases are very spread out, so defending on 4 and 5 bases can be a little bit more difficult if your opponent has map control. So that can factor in a longer game. Go. As we have our Stargates again into a standard opener so far. And we'll see if Cham can tighten up his early game defense. I think something that I'm most surprised by as well when it comes to the last game is that Cham, remember, he lost how many drones? 19. He lost 19 workers coming into the early to mid game. And I mean, Cham, he was able to recover somewhat. Able to recover, able to bounce back, able to make a series or make a game out of it regardless. I'm hoping he can tighten up his defense though. Because we can't lose that many workers, man. It can't happen. As the Eps do poke in. Poke into the bases. Oracle's on the way. And we'll see if Cham goes for roaches once again. See in the chats. Hey, Crank. Crank is someone else. I know there may be some newer viewers to the channel, but Crank is J1 Choi. He's a Korean Protoss player. Here we have the CranKy Ducklings. And I'm light. Or light, back. Light. What is this tournament? This is a major online event. It's a 3,000 AUD prize pool, 2,000 USD prize pool. Big prize pool. We got some insane players here. Solar, Shin, Bunny, Byun. All knocked down. All taken out. I do see some people maybe unfamiliar with Cham. If you haven't been watching much StarCraft in recent years, you might not be familiar with Cham. But Cham has been around and he was very prominent and prevalent. Like from 2020, 2021, 2022. Into 2023 as well. I would say that Cham, he is the best player in Latin America at the moment. Over Juanito, over Special. Over Juanito. But here we go. Here we go. We have a triple Oracle into the main. Triple Oracle into that main base. Likewise, behind the standard follow-up here, Twilight Council and Forge for +1 and Blink. Oh, snipes the Queen. Does get a Queen, does get 2. Nice pickoffs here. No major economic damage, but pickoffs nonetheless. as Cham did opt to go for the, once again, early Roach Horn, so Roach Horn into Lair, into Evo Chamber. Slightly later Evo Chambers this time out of Cham, but outside of that, looks like a very similar setup. Very similar to the last game. As Devs are pushing in, this time Cham has no Zerglings, he's going into Roaches. The Roaches are on the way, they're not quite ready. Devs bust in, and drones are going down. Getting up to 4, 5, 6 drone kills. Ay, 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 7 drones. Cham getting caught with his pants down. Again, Cham was cutting corners. He chose not to make Zerglings to make these Roaches, and they came out a couple of seconds too late. Couple of seconds too late here. So 8 drone kills, and the Adepts, they got away. Like, they're still up and running. They're still out there. And we spoke earlier about Cham tightening up his early game, but alas, it's going to be 13 drone kills in the main. Ay, ay, ay. Or 13 in total. And Cham, he's not redroning. He's not redroning. He's got more Roaches on the way. Roach speed, no Evo Chamber upgrade, no +1. And Cham, he might just commit into an all-in. We'll see if he makes more Roaches. Eyes are glued to that production tab. And he's not droning. Yeah, he's not droning up. He has a 4th base just for Larva. So just for Larva, Cham is going for the Ling Roach all in with Roach speed back at home. ShoWTimE, is he ready for this? He's teching. ShoWTimE, he's teching. He's looking to expand. ShoWTimE, he has an army to work with, that is true, but he's not setting up defensively. He has some sack defense here at his 3rd base, minimal sack defense at the natural. And it's all or nothing for Cham. Cham, he's setting it. He's all in. He's going for the all-in. Starter stepping forward. They're catching out some of the Stalkers as well. Not bad. But the Oracles, they just get free damage on the Roaches. And Cham, he's backing up, but he's still not droning. He's still not droning, still very all-in. Catching out more Stalkers. We have 20 Lings in production. And can Cham break through? It's still brutal damage out of these Oracles. Cham pulling away, regrouping. Does regroup. Just massing up more of an army. The Oracles, they are running out of energy, true. There's the energy overcharge on 1. And ideally, Cham does want to catch out ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE's army is revealed on creep. Cham, what's the plan? Coming in from behind. Does go for the counterattack or even the surround. But there are some stasis traps. Depending on their connections, ShoWTimE, he can still take this. Yeah, brutal stasis. Stasis goes off of the Zerglings. And ShoWTimE has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. Cham is trying to collapse in. Once again, coming in from behind. These Stalkers, they should be shut down. They're being cornered and it's going to have to recall. It does have to recall out of here. Saves a handful of Stalkers. That's still a lot of losses for ShoWTimE. And this goes, and that's time. Now we gotta commit. We gotta go. We gotta send it. Cham, keep going. Jesus, that's gonna be how many? 25 Stalkers. That's a lot of Stalkers defensively. But Storm is a non-factor. No Storm, no Immortals. Just pure Blink Stalker out of ShoWTimE. Mike starts stepping in, getting on top of the Stalkers. Vials are grazing the army. And Cham getting so close to breaking ShoWTimE here and now. Takes down one of the cannons, takes down the second. 0 cannons left. Shield Vipers out of NG. Just the Stalkers. But Cham is running out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of army. He almost breaks through, but ShoWTimE holds. Yeah, ShoWTimE, he should hold here. As there's a couple of Zerglings trickling in. GG gets called. Cham, he runs out of steam, and ShoWTimE will extend his lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played, does extend his lead in the series here. Again, ShoWTimE, he was able to also not just defend, but buy time. Because the Stalkers were out on the map, he was able to buy time, able to set up defensively back at home, get more warp-ins, and just distract Cham. Just distract him out on the map while ShoWTimE got ready for that defense. Warped in more Stalkers, traded well against the Roaches. GG. GG, well played. With that, ShoWTimE does extend his lead here. It was an intense game, but again, time was on ShoWTimE's side. And with that, we're going into our next game here. Up next, we do have Tokamak, another one of these larger maps. We've been getting a lot of these. We've been getting a lot of these larger maps here from Maganatha into Tokamak. Let's go. Let us go. We'll see if Cham can fight back and tie things up. Here we go, spawning in the top of the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the German Protoss player. We have the German Protoss himself. We have the red Protoss representing Sentinels, leading the series 2-1. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself, representing his esports. It is Cham. We go. Once again, the last time they played against each other was last week when they went all the way to the ace match in a best of 5. Here in a best of 7, Cham, the pressure's on. Pressure is on. He still has more room to work with. It is a best of 7, so we have plenty more games ahead of us. But you don't want to allow ShoWTimE to get too much of a lead in the series. Loving the emotes in the chat. Ah, no. All the emotions, Matthew. All the emotions. Ay. So we have our standard opener. Hatch gas pull out of Cham. Once again, we'll see if we can tighten up our early game defense, because last game was also brutal. When Cham, he was skipping Lings, he went for an early Roach Warren, but it was not early enough to defend against the Adepts. And it felt like Cham was forced into the all-in. I don't know if that was always the initial plan, but he was forced into it. And had potential if only ShoWTimE wasn't buying so much time with those Stalkers. Giving him the breathing room he needed. And we'll see how Cham adjusts. He is a Roach boy, so we're expecting Roach play once again. True. Here's what we're expecting. ShoWTimE is going for a Stargate opener. We don't really expect to see ShoWTimE deviate, and going into Glaives would be very risky against Cham, just because of his Roach heavy style. He's not really one that skips or delays Roaches, so you don't want to get baited into Glaives. ShoWTimE dips in. So 2 Adepts have arrived. 2 Adepts, remember, they can one-shot workers. And they meet up at the natural. Going for the shade. Does commit. It does commit and gets one. One drone goes down. Quick gas geyser. Saves the other. And Cham, he will hold. Does hold for the time being. I spoke too soon. Shades back into the main base. More drones going down. Boys are being pulled. And this is getting a little bit out of hand. 4 drone kills. 4 drones, 4 links for 2 Adepts. Nice trade for ShoWTimE. A nice start. As the Oracle does move out. ShoWTimE is just building up his oracles, getting his third base up and running, just settling into a longer game state. Cham does invest a little bit heavily here into these Zerglings, but he can't really get much done. There are 3 devs back at him to defend. ShoWTimE holds. Does hold, does defend. Oracles, they dip in between the bases, they catch a couple of transferring drones. 2 drone kills, 3, 4, 5, oh god, 5 drones! 5 drones go down. Once again, a better start for ShoWTimE. Can Cham ever get out of the early game with a nice worker lead? It's like it's not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen. Ah, no. As ShoWTimE's not done, by the way. He's up to 3 oracles. He's moving out with his 4 adepts. He wants more. He wants more, man. Oh. It's another drone. It's another. I believe Cham, for the first time this series, is skipping his Roach Warren. Yeah, no Roach Warren. Going for the Eva Chamber, going for the Lair. His plan might be to go Ling Hydra. Speaking of, is this another misclick? I'm curious. I mean, ShoWTimE, he sees no Roach Warren. True. He sees no Warren. Ah, yeah, it was second time. It was another misclick. Going into Blink Stalkers. It's happened twice now for ShoWTimE. Aye. And we have the answer. We're skipping Roaches. We are indeed going into Ling Hydra with early +1 range. So committing into Ling Hydra. Now this can lead into a 3-base all-in off of around 70 workers, or we could even start to take up into lurkers and try to hit like a +2 timing instead. Cham has got a couple of options with how he wants the pieces all together. Does he take up or not? Back at home, Temple Archives into Storm. Storm is going to be on the way. Cham is amassing his Hydras. He's cutting workers at 72. 72 drones. +1 is about to kick in. We'll see if he drones up his fourth base any further. Otherwise, it's just purely Ling Hydra. Otherwise, he's going to commit. Making more Overlords. Still not droning. Still not taking either. Hydra speed has begun. We can see ShoWTimE setting up defensively back at home. Throwing down cannons, shield batteries, stasis traps. And at this point, Cham is going for it. Yeah, he's just going for it. Massing in more Hydras. He's choosing not to tech. Choosing not to drone. He's going for the Lair tech all in. This is actually quite similar to how Shin was approaching this. I say similar. The difference here is that there's no melee upgrade and there's no bailiness and bailing speed. Instead, we're pretty fixated on the Hydra upgrades. All 3 Hydra upgrades are finishing. Speed, range, and +1. So there's a big focus here on Hydras. And ShoWTimE is taking up into Sky Toss. Cham, he has to end it here and now. How many Storms? How many had Templar? 6. Jesus. That's going to be 6 Templar. The Oracles are across the map. Cham, can he get on top of the Templar? He's going in. Tanks 1 Storm. Tanks a Storm, pushes forward. High Templar out of position. And there's barely any stack defense here. Yeah, no cannons, no shield batteries, just the 1. Storms will help, but really it's only purely Storm. Yeah, there's no other support. No other support. ShoWTimE is being greedy. ShoWTimE taking to Sky Toss, and it's too much. Yeah, it's going to be too much here. Cham, he's breaking through. Takes down the Stalkers, takes down most of the mineral line. Again, it's only Storm. That's all there is. And GG gets called. Cham, he will tie the series up 2-2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ShoWTimE being so greedy here, cutting corners and rushing into Sky Toss, staying on a very low army supply. He had a lot of Storm, but again, it's all he had. He had no support for his High Templar, he had no Stalkers, no Zealots, and he was lacking side defense as well. Just too much greed out of ShoWTimE. GG. GG, well played. At Cham, he does bounce back. We have a series. We have a back and forth. We are tied up 2-2 in this best of 7, and who will take the lead is the question. Up next, we're going to be loading into Persephone. And once again, every game, by the way, ShoWTimE has had a better early game. Like, ShoWTimE has been killing a bunch of workers. Every game so far. But Cham is able to, I mean, for most of the games, ShoWTimE has won as a result. But Cham has been going for these all-ins as a follow-up and has been catching ShoWTimE at times off guard. Can he do it again? As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the red Protoss player. We have the German Protoss. Oh. Representing Sentinels, being forced into a tied series. It is a ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Mexican Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Xeratus Esports. Oh, it is Cham. Going for a 14 hatch. Okay. Interesting. Now, a 14 hatch, this is a little bit old school. If you remember, 14 hatch openers were very common and very prevalent a couple of years ago, before like the 1515 really hit the field. This is an alternate way to get your hatchery on location without getting pylon blocked. The hatchery is fast enough where when the probe arrives, they cannot block in time to stop the hatchery from being thrown down. So again, does go for the 14 hatch. And is opening up gasless. Ooh. Okay. Bold move. So going hatch pull into delayed gases from the side of Cham. Now, gas isn't the most important upgrade here in ZVP. Important upgrade. Gas and link speed isn't the most important upgrade in ZVP, just because there's no big like power spike with link speed. You can technically defend with purely slow links and queens against the adepts. It's not as easy, but is possible. And with this kind of opener, we might even preserve the gas, skip link speed, and go into something different. Go into a faster lair, go into a faster Eva chamber, go into a faster Roach Warren. So curious to see where the gas is going to be spent. Likewise, with this probe scout, ShoWTimE also knows that link speed is going to be delayed, so ShoWTimE can cut corners. Typically, what this means is that ShoWTimE, usually when you get your third base, when you go Stargate open into a third base, you leave your adepts at home to defend, right, against the link run by, because speed links can force a cancel if your adepts aren't in position, and sometimes even if your oracle isn't in position. But because link speed is going to be delayed, it means that ShoWTimE, he can choose not to keep his adepts at home and move out instead for more economic damage. So ShoWTimE, he has that choice to make. On top of that, with later gases, are we tempted to go into glaives as a follow-up? Maybe. That might be on the table. Third base is being taken. Cham, he does get 100 gas, so it looks like he should be going into link speed. There we go. Link speed is on the way. Delayed. So delayed link speed out of Cham. Fred Lambert say that if they Chrono Stalkers, you can't take a third with gasless. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely ways to abuse this, for sure. For sure. I'm not sure what the timings, but I mean, if that's what Lambo says, then I tend to agree. Sure. Could even punish a third. Thankfully, ShoWTimE does make adepts, not stalkers, so there won't be a punishment of the third base, but he can still try to commit into these mineral lines. Third base is on the way, and as we mentioned, the adepts are across the map. Oh, with that, getting a couple of drones so far, nothing major. Getting 3 drones. I was thinking of what word to use. Defer. I'd defer to Lambo for sure. There you go. I was like, refer? I was like, what? That's the episode. Do shade in. Lings are in position. Despite that, nice target firing, getting up to 5, 6 drone kills. Yes, 6. We get 7. We do. 7 drones do go down. The Oracle is still alive. Doesn't commit into the mineral line, but alas, nice damage nonetheless. Second Oracle moves out, and here comes a counterattack from Cham as he's losing even more drones. 10 drone kills, 11. 11 drones going down. What is their home to defend? 2 adepts. 2 adepts are in position. They can buy time. The Oracle's racing back home. And there's a 3rd Oracle to defend. Yeah, ShoWTimE is fine. He's fine. He defends his 3rd base. And that's a brutal start for Cham, losing 12 workers. Ay, ay, ay. Cham literally early spores. Yeah, he did decide to delay his spores in favor of Queen defense, but he gets punished for it. Oh, losing another 3 drones. That is going to be how many? 15 drone kills in total. A very nice start for ShoWTimE. But again, every game in this series, we have had a better start for ShoWTimE. Without fail. Every game between 10 and like 19 drone kills. It's been happening. And he's still not done. Behind this, standard time with +1 and blink. +1 and blink on the way. There's some moving out. And from here, ShoWTimE just taking up. He's taking up into Storm. But again, because the early map control that he has, he can just contain Cham early on. And once again, what do we see out of Cham? No Roach Warren. No Roach Warren is going at Ling, Hydra. This is actually looking very similar to what we just saw last game. Very similar to last game. Going pure Ling, Hydra. Later, Eva Chamber. There's a higher chance it's going to be +1 range, not +1 melee. Nice catch on some of the adepts. ShoWTimE does catch a queen. He scouts the tech. He sees, he knows. And this time we expect ShoWTimE to be more defensive. Last game, the big issue was he was skipping war pins in favor of taking up into Sky Toss. Here we just have to calm down, build up on 3 bases. As Hydra speed is on the way. Again, we're expecting range, and there it is, range as well. It's the same build. I say same build. It's going in the same direction as the last game. So massing up with Ling Hydra. Last game, Cham did cut workers at around 72. He didn't take his gases at the 4th. He didn't fully saturate his 4th base either. We'll see if Cham drones up a little bit more this time. Gets up to 74. Oh. Hydras are amassing. I will say the +1 range is a little bit later this game. So it's going to be a later timing. Cham getting supply blocked, and Cham is making 7 overlords, and I don't think he plans on droning. Yeah, he's going for the push. Cham is setting up. This time ShoWTimE is throwing down cannons, shield batteries. This time he will have a much stronger setup. Let's go. 2 more cannons, another shield battery. This time ShoWTimE will take it seriously. And of course he scouted the tech as well, so he knows, for the most part. He hasn't seen lack of saturation at the 4th, which would be confirmation. But he sees the army. More relations, no hive. And Cham, he'll mass up a massive army. And it's on ShoWTimE to warp in as much as he can and hold on. Rover's on the way for Immortals. Charge lots are amassing as well. Oh, nice catching a couple of Hydras. Got 3. 3 Hydras go down. And here he comes. Here comes Cham. They're getting drawn up a little bit more this time, but the end goal is the same. Purely Ling Hydra hits with Hydra range, Hydra speed, and +1 range. This time ShoWTimE is better prepared. Yeah, Storm does connect. Grayson the army. Cham coming in from behind. Yeah, sets up for the surround. At least he attempts to. Storms, they do graze the army. We have more storms coming in from behind. Yeah, massive storms. Oh my god. Storms, they shut down the Hydras, and this all-in is nowhere near as impactful. This time, ShoWTimE defends. He defends back at home. He defends his 4th base. The longer this game goes on, the worse it is for Cham. And the idea of going for the same build 2 games in a row, not against ShoWTimE. Not against them now, but no. So still has plenty of storms behind this. Pushing forward, cleans up most of the Lings. Oh. Does land a storm. And that's how many High Templar? 9. Jeez, he has 9 High Templar. And now he throws down the Fleet Beacon. If you recall, last game he had the Fleet Beacon thrown down as the aggression began. But here it's after the aggression ends. After it concludes. And I say that Cham is still all in. He's still massing up more Lings than Hydras. If ShoWTimE isn't too careful, then he can be caught out. He has to be so careful not to be too greedy here. It's tempting to tech, but Cham is still all in, and Cham is maxed. He's maxed out his up 40 supply. Remember, the soup does lie. Defensively, ShoWTimE has the advantage. Just has to fight with the cannon, shield battery, with the high ground as well. Cham knocking down those rocks. ShoWTimE does notice. He does notice. He pulls away. Pulls back. Tempest production has begun. Cham morphing in a wave of banelings. Getting into baneling speed and +2. Oh, as Tempests are revealed, Cham, he knows that it's looking a little bit bleak here. As currently there's no good answer for the Tempest. Zealots, they get across the map, drones are going to be going down, and we gotta go, we gotta send it. Storms they connect. Oh my god, the Storms, they blanket everything. Storms, they shut down the Hydras, they shut down the Ling Bane. And Cham's army, it melts. It absolutely melts. GG gets called, and ShoWTimE will extend his lead in the series 3-2. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Cham. He did begin his comeback last game, but here going for the same build is not a wise choice. At this level of play, your opponent is going to be adapting to you, is going to be recognizing these builds, and will be approaching you in a safer manner. So ShoWTimE, he did recognize that, hold up, you're massing up Ling Hydra again. This time, let's calm down, throw down cannons, shield batteries, warp in more High Templar, warp in more Zealots. Let's hold off on the Sky Toss and make sure that we're safe this time. And with that, GG. GG, well played. ShoWTimE, he learns from the previous game, and with that, he does extend his lead, or does take a lead, and with that, ShoWTimE is 1 game away from claiming the series. The pressure's on Cham here and now to take the game and force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be loading into our next game. We're going to be loading into Oceanborn. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Mexican Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Xeratus Esports. It is Cham. We go. Whew. And again, thankfully we do have a back and forth series nonetheless. have seen both our players excel in their own way, but something that we've seen Cham struggle with the most in this series, and this was applicable to the previous series as well in that best of 5 during my assist of the game, is early game defense. That seems to be the big weak point for Cham, as without fail every game he's been losing at least 10, sometimes up to 19 drones due to Adept and Oracle harass. We got to tighten up, Pappy. We got to tighten up. Again, we have taken note, of course, that Cham at times will delay spores, relying on queen defense. At times, he even cuts corners, skipping link production to get into roaches as well. But every time he's attempted this, has been punished. So we'll see if Cham can tighten up that early game, can defend early on, and actually come out with a worker lead coming into the mid game, because that has just not happened at all in this series. Even the games that he's won, typically coming in at a deficit into that mid game. Here we go. Manifesting Cham Sports. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, it isn't just about the Oracle defense, but the Adept defense as well, right? Also about the Adepts. Gonna bring it together. For now, Stargate opener out of ShoWTimE. As we have our initial Adept move out. Stargate's on the way. We are building up. Starting into Oracle once again. We have yet to see ShoWTimE really deviate too much. Even against Shin, he was mixing in these more safer builds, going into earlier Blink. That has not been the case here for Cham. Against Cham, ShoWTimE just going triple Oracle into +1 Blink, into Storm, into just more defensive play. After the aggressive early game, to be fair. So moving out with more Adepts. ShoWTimE, he wants those drone kills. He wants them. As the Oracle is out. Once again, Cham, he is going to be skipping spores. They do attempt to engage. Shades into the main base. Drone's going to be going down. Gets 1 so far. Gets 2. Nothing major. 2, 3 drone kills. The Oracle comes from behind, getting up to 5, 6 drones. Yeah, 6, 7 drones going down. The Oracle should pull away. It does barely get away in time, getting an 8th drone. And Adepts, they even escape. Adepts, they escape as well. They do pull out. Nice run by here from ShoWTimE. Gets 8 drones, 4 links for 1 Adept. So far so good. He's still not done. Second Oracle's coming out. 3rd Oracle's on the way. ShoWTimE moving in. We have 2 queens at the 3rd. Oh, Oracle taking a lot of hits. 2 more drones. 10 in total. And that is a faster Twilight Council. Okay, for the first time. For the first time this series, earlier Twilight Council out of ShoWTimE. Do we plan on going into earlier Blink? On Oceanborn, it makes sense. Winding back, I didn't even get to talk about it, but Oceanborn, welcome one and all. It's been a long time since Oceanborn has been in the tournament map pool. Oceanborn was known for a lot of queen walks across the map, a lot of German taxis, was very, very in the meta back in the day. As he rushes, his bike ground is shorter and the 3rd base is more exposed. Adepts, they do shade in. Glaives again? Chrono, this, okay, intentional. Glaives into Forge and +1. Interesting. Now, unfortunately for ShoWTimE, we have Roaches. Roach Horn is already on the way. If it was Ling Hydra, then I would really actually prefer this. Glaive Adepts can pop off. But we'll see if Cham can recognize what's going on. As we have a gateway explosion. More gates on the way. Adepts are amassing. And Cham has a Roach Warren. He has +1 range in production. Where are the roaches? that's my big question. Cham is droning. Cham, he's droning. He is investing into roach upgrades. There we go. We have 3 roaches on the way. If the roach count is too low, then these adepts, they will pop off. Ooh, 1 oracle goes down. Nice catch. Gets 1 oracle. The other 2 do get away. Does pull out, does get away at the same time. Here comes the Mass Adepts. Pushing into the bases. It does move out. Roaches are in position. And so far, Cham is holding. So far, Cham is keeping up. Shades into the 3rd. Ooh, the boys are being pulled. The drones are going down. This is 3 Adepts. 3 Adepts, they get 4. They get, oh, just 4. 4 drone kills. Nothing major. Cham is holding. Cham is holding on. ShoWTimE has to buy time for Blink. Blink is on the way. And after Cham's defense, he can't counterattack. He can just move out across the map and try to end it. As he's going to be losing more drones. Over 8 drone kills. 21 in total. ShoWTimE, he pulls back, and that is going to be a lot of roaches for Cham. He's got 28 roaches and 10 more on the way. Cham, he's not droning. He's not droning of his 4th base. He's not saturating. He has a 5th base as well, just for larva. And it's all or nothing for Cham. He ignores the main army. He's going for the counterattack back at home. There's some stalkers to defend. Hatchery goes down. Cham is moving in. But there's a recall. Does recall back home. Nice stasis traps. Catching out the roaches. And ShoWTimE, he defends well. ShoWTimE makes it back. He's throwing down a wall of cannons, shield batteries. These stalkers are buying time. That's all they're doing here. They're just buying time for ShoWTimE. Pulls back. Distracts the entire army. And remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for ShoWTimE. He has cannons on the way, shield batteries on the way, +2 as well. Immortal production. Throwing out even two fresh stasis traps. And Cham is maxed. Cham is maxed out. He's up 70 supply. But remember, the soup does lie. This is a very inefficient army. Very supply inefficient. Oh! Stasis traps. No major connections. Roach is moving in. Piles a zone away. Cham falling back. Getting on top of some of the cannons. Sorry. ShoWTimE falling back. Does fall back. Cannon's going to be going down. Shield barrier is going to be piled. Roaches are moving in, but there's 1 immortal. And there's 1 immortal at the natural. ShoWTimE is holding on. He's holding back. The power of the immortal. We'll lose the 4th. The 4th should go down. Oh, but this may just be a one-way trip. So many stalker reinforcements. ShoWTimE, he can just chase these roaches down, and he will. And that's going to be the death of the army. The death of this army here. Cham, he has to get out of here. Get out of here. And more roaches falling. Immortal moves in. With those reinforcements, though, does punish. And Cham is still not draining, by the way. He's still not saturating. He's transferring workers over. He's not making any workers. +1 melee is on the way. Bailey Nest is on the way. Interesting. Trying to get into Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Storm has been a non-factor in this defense. Again, the Immortal is here. Dies on the Immortal. Nice target firing. Immortal goes down, but there's so many stalkers. So many stalkers. ShoWTimE, he can soon just blink on the army. As the Roach Cannon is being thinned out, there's the blink, there's the dive. And GG gets called. Cham, he runs out of steam, he runs out of army, and ShoWTimE, he will take the series 4-2, becoming the OSC 2025 mid-season playoffs #1 champion. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. ShoWTimE does claim it. Cham had a good showing here in this tournament. Cham, he popped off. He took down Solar. He took down Bunny. He even took games off of ShoWTimE as well. But alas, ShoWTimE, he had an insane performance in the lower bracket. Not easy, not easy. There's a world where ShoWTimE isn't even here. Remember, in those previous matches, ShoWTimE, he went all the way to the ace match against both Skillous and against Shin as well. Like, it was really close matches versus Shin and Skillous. We had some very clutch back and forth, went all the way to the ace match, so it was not an easy road. ShoWTimE was looking a lot more dominant against Bunny for sure, but against Shin and Skillous, it was a lot more shaky, a lot more up in the air. Here against Cham, we also had a little bit of a back and forth, but Cham, he was again, he was maybe a little bit too heavily reliant on certain builds as ShoWTimE was adapting over the course of the series. He was playing very, very safe, was able to recognize certain all-ins as well and set up for them back at home. Really solid defensive play out of ShoWTimE, but not just that, shout out to ShoWTimE's early game aggression. We spoke about it, but every game without fail, he would get at least 10s, usually much more than that, drone kills at the start of the game with the Adepts and with the Oracle Harass as well. Something that definitely Cham was struggling with throughout the course of the entire series. GG. And that was slowing him down when it came to the all-ins, when it came to any kind of macro play, was all slowing him down. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to ShoWTimE, but a shout out to Cham for making it to the finals and for taking down some big names to make it to the finals as well. So GG, well played. Congratulations. Ooh, and a shout out to ShoWTimE. And with that, we have concluded the mid-season playoffs. Again, this tournament has been running since April of this year, so it's been a couple of months. Of course, it was a little bit delayed because of EWC, true, because of the Esports World Cup, and because of not just EWC but DreamHack and Star Zagora and all these tournaments running at around the same time. This event was a little bit delayed, but in the end we have crowned our champion, so congratulations here to ShoWTimE. And looking forward to seeing more of this in the future. For those, I'm sure there are some people tuning in for the first time that are like, what is the OSC mid-season playoffs? OSC, they run online tournaments. They run a lot, and they partner with almost every online tournament out there, with our Open Cups, with Wardy's Open Cups, with the Pigstar Cups, with basically all open tournaments. They do partner with OSC in some way. They all provide OSC points, and the OSC season playoffs are similar to, I would say, they're the online version of the World Championship. The online version where they feature, or it features, all the active online players in the open kind of circuit. And this is a tournament where typically like MaxPax competes in, for example, because it's not offline, right? It's not offline, so it features players like MaxPax, Clem, Cham, Solar, Shin, Bunny, Bjorn, Cure, all the online tournament active players. There are some players that aren't active in online tournaments, so that's players that are going to be excluded are players like Serral, players like Maru, players like Raynor, right? Those are the three that come to mind. I think those might be the only three, actually. The only three that come to mind that would be excluded from the OSC Championship, just because they don't play in online tournaments. But everyone else that does compete in online events, they all kind of work towards this big championship at the end of the year. The mid-season playoffs is the kind of middle of the year tournaments, the mid-season before December, before the big championship at the end of 2025. So look forward to it. Do look forward to it. And again, for the top two players here for this season to be ShoWTimE and Cham, crazy performances here from our players, and we'll see who's going to be in form coming into the end of year championship. Oh boy, here we go. So with that, congratulations to ShoWTimE, shout out to Cham, and with that, we are wrapping up for the time being. It has been a very intense day. We were live earlier this morning with Maestros of the Game, and that will continue as we head on over to our schedule. Bam, here we go. As you can see here, we just wrapped up with our Friday midday cast at 12 p.m. KST. That was 1 p.m. AST. You can see Friday we just wrapped up with our OSC cast. You can see that later on tonight, it isn't showing on Friday. Saturday morning, 2 a.m. KST, we are live with Maestros of the Game, Group B. With Group B of Maestros of the Game, that is going to be featuring, I think we already casted Raynor Serral, that's it. Going to be featuring Serral alongside, hold on, I have the page open. I can just show you. True. Hold on. Bam. This is tonight's broadcast. You can see here it's going to be in 9 hours. In 9 hours time, we're going to be live with Group B of Maestros of the Game. This is going to be featuring Serral, Bjorn, Xian, and Ryung. Oh boy. So we got some Terran representation, a little bit of Zerg, a little bit of Protoss as well. So Serral, Ryung, Bjorn, and Xian. It's going to be an insane group. Group A already concluded. We casted that this morning. We casted it live, of course. That was at 3 a.m. this morning. And 3 a.m. tomorrow morning, which again is in 9 hours. That is Group B. That is Group B. So do check it out if you're available. Should be a decent time for Europe and for the Americas. It's an awful time if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, if you're in Australia, Southeast Asia, rest of Asia as well, Oceania. It's yeah, it's not good. But we cast everything anyway. We cast more StarCraft than any other channel out there, so we got to cast it all, man. We got to cast it all. So again, 9 hours time, Serral, Bjorn, Xian, and Ryung. Meanwhile, when it comes to the rest of the group stage, you can see here tomorrow in a day and 9 hours, that's going to be Group C, Solar, Clem, Rogue, and Bunny. And of course, day after that is Group D, Maru, Hero, ShoWTimE, and Lambo. So we have some crazy groups here. Again, when it comes to Group A, already did conclude. If you want to check out the VODs are over on YouTube, YouTube in the chat. We'll give you a link to our YouTube channel. VODs are no longer supported on Twitch, so if you want some VOD action, YouTube is the place to be. So check it out over on YouTube. But again, that is going to be our next cast here tonight. Otherwise, again, congratulations to ShoWTimE. You can see here ShoWTimE coming out in first place alongside El Chamaco second, Bunny third, and Shin as fourth place. So again, a very intense tournament. I think we still have to give out the random reward. I think Eddie's going to be handling that side of things, and look forward to more OSC events. As you can see here, ShoWTimE also qualifies for a higher seed in the OSC Championship at the end of the year. True. Does qualify for a higher seed. Great lineup, for sure. Great lineup for Maestros. And again, so that's going to be in 9 hours. We also have Ducklings Open tomorrow, and we have 4 days straight of Maestros of the Game. Sorry, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days straight of group stage of Maestros of the Game. Again, that is a big event happening in France, a big offline event happening in France, but the group stage is the online portion of that tournament. But with that, thanks for watching. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I slept 4 hours today. I slept 4 hours. I'm gonna go get some food, I'm gonna go get some sleep, and get ready for the cast later on tonight. So thank you so much for watching, thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to support us, you can follow us: Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you prefer. We're live all over the place, all things CranKy Ducklings. Likewise, you can also check us out on Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments. We actually just made a big announcement last night during the podcast. We got a massive donation a couple of days ago, massive donation of 2,000 USD, and we are putting all that money into some tournaments. Our regular weekly tournaments is Sparkling Tuna Cup, but with that $2,000, we're going to be hosting 4 monthly tournaments, 500 USD for each monthly. So Tuna Cup is now going to have a monthly finals for September, October, November, and December. So for the next 4 months of this year, we have monthly finals. We have a big prize pool for that as well, and we're going to be starting that up at the end of this month, or here in September. So thank you so much for the support that we've gotten, and if you want to support our tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup and make this monthly events more of a regular thing instead of just this year, then you can help us out on Patreon. Patreon does fund our tournaments, does provide for the prize pool of those events. So you can check us out on Patreon. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, thanks so much for the support, and we will see you guys tonight, tomorrow, whenever. Well, I'm sure we'll see you at some point. We're live all the time. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.